So, you want to become a businessman. Let's see. I gave 3 random people money to start a business. One got $100. One got 10,000. One got $1 million. Same 30 days, same goal. Build the most valuable business you can. Whoever wins keeps everything. But 30 days later, the guy with $100 had more money than the millionaire. Today I'm going to show you the real economics of becoming a businessman and why the amount of money you start with barely matters. Every year, millions of people dream about becoming a businessman. A founder, a guy who signs the checks instead of cashing them. And almost all of them believe the same lie: I just need enough money to start. So in this video, I'm doing 3 things. First, I'm breaking the myth that money makes the businessman. Second, I'm showing you how money actually behaves once a business is running, where it multiplies and where it quietly disappears. And third, you're going to see why one person built a better business with just $100, while someone else wasted $1 million. Because the ending is going to change how you think about starting your own thing. Stick around, because the last part of this video is the part almost nobody explains correctly. Here's the first truth. Almost nobody says out loud. Money is not the input that makes a business. Money is the output of a business. That already works. Think about what a business actually is. Underneath all the branding and the fancy office photos, it's just this: solve a real problem for real people, repeatedly, for more than it costs you to solve it. That's it. That's the whole game. Notice what's not in that definition. Money isn't in that definition. A logo isn't in that definition. An office isn't in that definition. What is required is something far more boring and far more available to literally anyone watching this video, a skill someone will pay for, and the willingness to go find that person. That's uncomfortable to hear if you've been waiting for enough capital to start, because it means the thing that's actually been missing this whole time was never in your bank account. Here's the economics behind why this is true. When you start with a skill instead of capital, your biggest cost, labor, is basically free because it's just your time. Your biggest risk, losing invested money, is basically zero because you never had much to lose. That means your break-even point, the moment you stop losing and start profiting, is almost immediate. Compare that to someone who starts with a huge pile of money and no skill. Now their biggest cost is paying other people to do the skill they don't have. Their break-even point is way out in the future because they're burning cash before they've proven anyone even wants what they're selling. This is the entire reason so many well-funded businesses collapse and so many broke, scrappy ones survive. Money without skill just means you get to make expensive mistakes faster. Now let's talk about what happens to money the second a business exists, because this is the part school never teaches, and it's the part that decides whether you become a businessman or just someone who used to run a business. There are 3 numbers you need to separate in your head forever: revenue, profit, and cash flow. Revenue is everything that comes in. It's the number that sounds impressive at a dinner party. My business did $200,000 this year. Cool story. Means almost nothing on its own. Profit is what's left after every single cost is subtracted: rent, tools, ads, your time, everything. Cash flow is the timing of when money actually lands in your account versus when you had to spend it. Most new businessmen go broke, not because they're unprofitable, but because of timing. They pay for the product now, and the customer pays them later. That gap is where fortunes quietly die. This is also where leverage comes in. And leverage is the single most misunderstood word in business. Leverage isn't just borrowing money. Leverage is anything that lets you multiply your effort without multiplying your time. Other people's time, other people's money, systems that run without you, software that works while you sleep. Here's the part that connects everything. The guy who starts with a skill and no money is forced to learn real leverage early because he has no other choice. The guy who starts with a pile of money can fake leverage for a while by just paying people, but he never learns to build a system that survives without the cash. And the moment the cash runs out, so does the illusion. That single difference is worth more than any amount of starting capital. Okay, back to the 3 stick men. Let's call them 100, 10K, and million. 100 took his $100 and spent it on one thing, printing flyers for a simple skill. He already had fixing laptops. No office, no logo, just his phone number, and a promise to show up. By day 3, he had his first customer. By day 10, word had spread, and he raised his price because he was fully booked. By day 20, he hired a friend to handle the easy repairs and kept the hard, high-paying ones for himself. By day 30, 100 had turned $100 into just over 4,000 with zero debt and a waiting list of customers. 10K did something smarter than million, but slower than 100. He spent his 10,000 testing 3 different small business ideas at once, a little bit of money on each, watching which one customers actually paid for before going all in. By day 15, he killed 2 of the ideas and poured everything into the one that was working, a subscription box people kept renewing. By day 30, 10K had turned 10,000 into roughly 18,000. Solid, real, repeatable. Now million. Million did what almost every newly funded founder does. He rented a slick office in week 1, hired 5 people before he had a single paying customer, ran expensive ads for a product that wasn't finished yet. By day 20, he had burned through most of the million on salaries, rent, and branding for a business that had made less than $2,000 in actual sales. By day 30, Million had a business that looked like a real company and a bank account with less than $80,000 left, draining fast, with no clear path to profit. So here's the final scoreboard. 100 started with $100, ended with roughly $4,000. A 40x return, fully self-funded, no debt. 10K started with $10,000, ended around $18,000. Solid, but almost 200 times less efficient than 100's growth rate. Million started with $1 million, ended with a company that, if you tried to sell it that day, might not have sold for more than its remaining cash. The guy with the least money had, by far, the best economics, not the most total dollars, the best ratio between what he risked and what he built. Let's break down exactly what went wrong for Million, because these same 4 mistakes quietly kill real businesses every single day. Mistake 1. Spending on the image of a business before the business earns $1. Fancy office, nice logo, business cards. None of that has ever once made a customer pay you. Mistake 2. Hiring before you have proof. Every person you hire is a fixed cost that exists whether or not customers show up. Hire for a problem you're drowning in, never for a problem you're hoping to have. Mistake 3. Confusing spending with progress. Burning money feels like momentum. It feels like something is happening. But spending isn't the same as building something people want. Mistake 4. And this is the big one. Ignoring unit economics. That means, does each individual sale make you money once every real cost is counted? If the answer is no, more customers just means losing money faster, not slower. Notice something about all 4 of these mistakes. None of them are about lacking money. They're all about lacking discipline, which is why more starting capital doesn't fix them. It just lets you make them bigger and for longer before reality catches up. So here's the real formula for becoming a businessman, the version that actually holds up, whether you're starting with $100 or $100 million. 1. Start with a skill someone will already pay for, not an idea you hope they'll like. 2. Get a paying customer before you spend on anything that isn't required to serve them, not a logo, not an office, a customer. 3. Reinvest the profit. Don't extract it. The businessmen who compound wealth are the ones who keep feeding the machine instead of feeding their lifestyle too early. 4. Track your margin obsessively. The gap between what something costs you and what it sells for. That gap is the entire business. Protect it like your life depends on it, because financially it does. And 5. Leverage systems and other people's time only once you've proven the thing works with your own 2 hands first. Money was never the businessman. It was always just the scoreboard, the skill, the discipline, and the patience. That's the actual player on the field. So, if you've been waiting for enough money to start, stop waiting. The data from this entire experiment says the same thing every time. Skill plus speed beats size. If this broke down something you needed to hear, subscribe, because next video, I'm running an even crazier experiment, and you will not believe who wins.